Hello, so here are my absolute favourite finds at Esxence in Milan this year. So on this table, what I've done is I've sprayed everything onto paper, and I'm going to come back and talk about them after I've gone for a swim. So I just wanted to spray and come back. Most of these have now been tested on skin, and they are the things that I absolutely loved that I found this year in Milan, and I want to share with you, my lovely viewers. So I'll be back shortly to discuss these a little bit more. So the very best of Esxence, the very best of the perfume convention in Milan. I'm going to have to rush through, otherwise the video is going to be too long. So Atelier des Ors new line in beautiful blue bottles. Here's some footage. Start then with Riviera Lazuli, based on the blue lapis lazuli stone, and of course the coast in the south of France. This one has the most predominant aquatic note, along with some kind of balmy woodsiness. It's very smooth and citrusy as well, of course. The middle one, the Riviera Drive, this one's really peppery, and it also smells a bit like warm sand. There's a hint of something mineral and just a touch of citruses. I like that one a lot. And then finally, Pomelo Riviera. So all of these have Riviera in the name. And this is a really bright and zesty grapefruit opening. There's other citruses definitely going on in there. It's clean. It kind of has like a clean white musk kind of feel to it as well. They are the Atelier des Ors new line. I was very, very lucky, and they gifted me a bottle of Lune Feline. So let's shake it up, shall we? Lune Feline. This fragrance got me a compliment from Jeremy Fragrance. I wore it to the party, the gala party, and when he gave me a hug, he told me I smelled awesome. And I did, because I was wearing Lune Feline, which is a beautiful resinous vanilla fragrance. Absolutely stunning. A massive thank you to Megan and Jean-Philippe for that beautiful, beautiful bottle. I'm so happy to have in my collection. Moving on. So I got a sample here of Cedro di Diamanti from Paris Monte Carlo. It's a fairly new, I don't think it's brand new, but it's fairly new out. And I just love it. It is a citrus, white musk, woodsy thing. It's not necessarily the most exciting thing you're ever going to smell. On my skin, when I did try it, it was really nice. On paper, I think it has actually gone a bit flat. I think it's one to wear on skin. It did smell lovely. The sort of clean muskiness of it was beautiful. I really enjoyed it. I met the lovely Prin from Prin Parfum. He's got some new stuff coming out. He's given me loads of samples. I've got samples to take to Dan, because some of his fragrances are going to be right up Dan's alleyway, shall we say. This one is really interesting. It smells like a vintage Chanel. So Mandarava. It smells a little. It smells aldehydic. It smells like vintage jasmine. It's musky. It's very vintage, but I really like it. Not so much the opening. The opening's a little bit much, but as soon as it dries down, 5 or 10 minutes, it's fabulous. Really classic and sophisticated. Another one is from Prin, but it's from the Strangers line, and it's salted green mango. So this one will suit people that like Millesime Imperial from Creed. Not that it's a clone, but it has a salty, fruity, aquatic feel. It's really nice in the dry down. Again, the opening, just for the first 5 or 10 minutes, slightly weird to me, but the dry down's beautiful. It smells floral, it smells clean and musky, salty, like a little piece of driftwood, and some florals in the background, and the fruitiness of the mango. Okay, let's move on. So Thu is actually a company that used to be House of Oud. They're kind of transforming into Thu, because the Thu fragrances I'm not all about oud. This one I really liked, and there was a few in this line I really liked. I just have the one sample called Keep Glazed, and this is a very loud, fruity fragrance. You've got coconut, frozen lemon, mango, chantilly cream, ginger crumble, precious woods. And what they've done is they've teamed up with a top sort of patisserie baker for each fragrance, and they're combining a pastry dish along with a perfume. Whatever that is, I want to eat it. I'd love to eat whatever that's based on. It's beautiful, really nice, fruity, floral gourmand. I met the lovely Amanda Beadle from Bedau, and I tried all of her fragrances. This one is called Hibou. So Hibou is the owl with the ears. Oh, that's it. This is the owl with the ears. This is a painting by Amanda, and Hibou is based, or Hibou is that owl. A very loud, floral, musky. It's really good actually. Hibou. So here's the sample. You can get samples on her website, and I'm going to link all the websites below. There's a little story there if you want to read it. I'm going to rush through though. I really like Hibou. It's very, very loud in the opening, but it does calm down. Now Chouette. This is the picture, the painting that Amanda did for Chouette. Her friends and family said that Hibou was a bit strong. Could she tone it down a little bit? So she messed around with the formula to create something softer, not weaker, but softer. And the result is Chouette. And I'm going to show you the sample there so you can have a read while I sniff it. Oh, they're so good. They're really, really good. I want to buy a bottle. I'm not sure which though. I need to wear them to make that decision. That is really, really lovely. And then we have, Amanda was a winner of one of the awards at Art and Olfaction last year, 2018, for her fragrance Chien Noir. Here's the sample. You can have a read there. Now it's based on, or it was commissioned for her friend's vineyard. Now her friend started a vineyard in England from scratch, planted it all herself, and won an award with her very first batch of wine, which is interesting because this is Amanda's very first perfume and she's won an award with it. So there's a really interesting connection there. Now Chien Noir is not something I would normally wear, but it's so good. It's so fresh in the opening and slightly green, but not green galbanum, dark green, not powdery, not resinous green, but there's a lot of oak moss in here, and it does kind of remind me of grapes. It doesn't smell like wine, it doesn't smell boozy, it smells more like grapes before they're properly ready to be eaten and ripened. Kind of sharp, but in a good way, but there's a real texture going on here. It's actually sexy. It's really sexy. I think I'd like to smell this on a man, but I quite enjoy it for myself. It's not very sweet fragrance, so that's not what I'd normally wear, but there's a hint of sweetness going on in there, and it's actually really, really good. Over here then we have DFG, and they've kindly gifted me a big sample set of everything, and then the 3 new ones from the line. The 3 new ones really have my attention the most. So they're based on love. It's called Trilogy of Love for the 3 perfumes, and this is called La Baya de Jasmine. And this one is super girly and sweet and floral. Smells like peonies, roses, maybe a hint of violet. It's very, very pretty without going into basic designer woman's fragrance territory, although it's close. Then the middle one is much more masculine. This one is called Non Dire No. It's about the passion. So the first one's about the initial spark of love. This is about the passion, obsession, explosion of unexpected energy. To me, it's very resinous. It smells like incense with just a hint of florals. And then finally, we have Il Sentiero degli Dei, the infinite love, truth, purity, eternity, endless music, wonder continually renewed. So this is about sort of the lifelong love or marriage. And this is probably my favourite because it's some sort of combination of the two to me. It's got feminine aspects along with masculine aspects. It smells floral and incensey, has a lot of depth. I really like that one. So if anything, I would probably consider that one as a purchase at some point. This is a brand called Steve Martin Paris. They have been 14 years in the making of this line of fragrances that they just released at Esxence. So 14 years crafting the perfumes and the packaging, and they're now finally releasing it, and they gave this to me as a gift. It's a silver coin. It's a silver coin that is cased in gold, so plated in gold, and it's a lovely memorabilia. So the line of perfumes, I'll show you the presentation now. And the perfumes themselves, I only smelt a few of them very briefly, so I can't really comment too much on them, but their history behind every fragrance is intricate and really, really interesting. The packaging is out of this world. They belong on the top floor of Harrods, if you ask me. Just from what I can see, the time and the effort and the costs that they put into producing these perfumes, they really do look amazing. There's something for the serious collector. I believe you would use them with care because they are very expensive, but you can tell a lot has gone into them. So thank you to Steve Martin for that lovely gift. So next I want to talk to you about Parfums de Cita and her latest fragrance. So Pissarra from Parfums de Cita is the perfumer, and her latest creation is called Splendiris. And this is absolutely beautiful. It smells like iris and violet. There's a real smooth creaminess to it. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it brings to mind serenity and peace. I know that sounds strange, but it's such a tranquil fragrance. It's so calming. It's really lovely. I've worn it a couple of times now. It's something that I'll wear when I'm in a particular quiet mood, I think, a reflective mood. I can see me choosing that one. I was very, very lucky, and she was really kind and gave me a travel spray of the fragrance. So in the box is this beautiful watercolour iris painting. And you have Jacita, Splendiris, and then the poem by her father, which is I write by the candlelight in a night wrapped by many layers of dreams. And it's such a lovely poem and a lovely painting for a beautiful fragrance. So the travel sprays are like this, and you twist it up like that. So thank you very much, Pissarra, for such a kind gift, and it is really a beautiful fragrance. I smelled pretty much everything from Parfums de Cita, and this was my favourite, although there are some absolute beauties. Here's Pissarra now talking about the fragrance.
So I'm here with Pissarra from de Cita Parfums, and she's going to say just a few words about her latest creation. What's it called?
Splendiris.
Splendiris.
This perfume is a special perfume because I got the name from the naming competition hosted by Fragrantica. So we have more than 1,000 people who participated, and we select the name that suits the best for the fragrance spirit and mood.
Oh, that's lovely.
And
what are the notes?
the notes are orange butter and the prominent notes, because orange butter it has a very greenish and powdery light. I also have rose gourmet, carrot seed oil. I also have the green flower and neroli, as well as different type of bergamots.
Lovely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I don't have samples, but I was really, really impressed by this company, Regalian. and that is Turkish, and it kind of means royalty. And the two chaps on the stall are the brand owners, and they're really good looking, charming young men. So I said they are two princes, which of course they were very humble and said, no, we're not princes. But as far as I'm concerned, they may as well be. And here's their details. I'll put the information below with everything else. But let me just tell you the 3 fragrances that I fell in love with from the line. There was an amber one. I think it's called Amber Salud. There's oud, which is a vanity oud. And believe it or not, even though I don't like oud, it was absolutely beautiful. And the other one was white gold. They were all quite floral and sweet, but they had depth and they were really different. They stood out from many other things that I tried. And when I looked into their website, the perfumer, Carlo Sylvan, I think it's Carlo Sylvan or similar, actually studied under Parfums de Nicolai perfumer Patricia Nicolai. So he actually studied under Patricia Nicolai as part of his studies, and that explains a lot because the fragrances are really nice. You can get them online. They do a travel set of all the eau de parfums, and they are €20 for the whole range, and I think they're 3 meals as well, so really good deal. Highly recommend. If you want international shipping, you have to get in touch with them via the website. I really hope you check them out because I think they're they're a brand to watch. Let me just pan away so I can show you all the spoils on the table. And I'm just going to tell you, Fort and Manley have got some things going on in the future. Fort and Manley are definitely another brand to watch. They are expanding their Colonia line. So there'll be more in that line, which I think is really exciting. So Sarah Baker Perfumes is another brand to watch, and I really enjoyed her latest creations. But let me get someone else to tell you all about those.
So we are Sarah Baker's perfumes, and she has 3 novelties. One of them is Rules of Attraction by Miguel Matos, and this is a beautiful, elegant, vintage, a little bit animalic with aldehyde scent. Then we also have the novelty Atlant, which is created by Sarah McCartney from 1160 Tuesdays, and it is nominated for Art and Faction Awards. And it is inspired by the ocean, and it is a very atmospheric scent with a note of seawood and seashells and yuzu. So it really reminds you of the ocean. And the third novelty is not the wrapper, but Sharab. This one, created by Andreas Wilhelm. He's from Perfume Sac. So yeah, this is a leathery shipper with a hint of tuberose. Slightly animalic, very sexy.
Okay.
So yeah.
What's your favourite of the 3 new ones?
Of the 3 new ones, that's hard to pick because I really like animalic. So I'm initially drawn to the Rules of Attraction, but I find Sharad is very nice, and Atlant is very creative.
Okay.
So it's different. So all of them are really beautiful.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Claire.
So that is all. That is my best of Esxence. And I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry for the shifty camera work. You know, I'm not a professional. I just want to share my love of frags with you lot. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.